Hey everybody, it's Party Elite here with another episode of Total Breakdown, once more with the battle from the Warhammer Fantasy League. This time we're going to see the Tomb Kings of Viking Cat take on the High Elves of Shetland Apache. We begin, of course, with talk of composition and deployment, and first things first, I find it pretty funny that both armies have sort of deployed for a crossword engagement. But let's take a look at the Tomb Kings real quick. As you can see, they are being led by Archon the Black atop his chariot, and he's brought with him a Necrotect on foot and a Tomb Prince on horseback as well. The front line consists of these 4 units of Skeleton Warriors, but we also have these Tomb Scorpions here, and we also have the Necropolis Knights with Halberds right in the middle as well. On either flank, a unit of Skeleton Spearmen each, and then back here we've got 4 units of Skeleton Archers, one of them being the Blessed Legion of Demonetization, and then behind them we have the Skeleton Spearmen hoping to protect these archers as they fire away. On the other side of the field, you can see the High Elves have a relatively compact army led by a Prince atop a Star Dragon. We've got this Frostheart Phoenix up in the air as well, while clumped in the tree is most of the rest of the army. We've got the Lore Master of Hoeth, 3 units of Phoenix Guard, and 3 units of Spearmen, so very much ready for constructs on the field. We also have the Eagle Club Bolter over here, already firing away, hoping to get some damage and using its anti-large shots, initially firing away at the Tomb Scorpion back here, as you can see, trying to get some damage in, but I think very quickly deciding to fire instead at Archon, taking advantage of the fact that he is atop his chariot, and those anti-large bolts will cause a fair bit of hurt. But you can see the Tomb Kings are pushing forward over here. Half the army, or well, I guess a third of the army, has been forced around this obelisk obstacle over here, so unfortunately splitting the forces a little bit. And you can see the Frostheart Phoenix pushing forward alongside the Prince as well, looking for an opportunity maybe to dive in. These guys pull back into safety just in case something goes wrong, and as you can see, the Spirit Leech comes in on Archon, getting that early damage in. They're using magic quite well, using it upgraded as well just to extend range a little bit, and causing, you know, a fair bit of hurt. Already down by about a quarter of his health, Archon, and that's extremely dangerous as the battle proceeds. Now you can see the rest of the army is sort of catching up to line up over here, and the High Elves continue to stay largely tucked away in the trees, while you can see we have the Prince sort of floating back and forth, staying active, micromanaged here to try and dodge range fire. And take a look at those shots as they come in from the archers, doing next to nothing on the Prince over here as he manages to dodge each and every one of those arrows. And in response, we still have the Eagle Club Bolt Thrower firing away at Archon back here. And take a look at that significant chunk of health already taken care of. He's trying to move to the side over here, take some cover in the trees. That's a clever idea, trying to avoid those shots as they come in, but you can see it's persistent fire over here, again taking some more damage. So very nicely done by the High Elves, picking off enemy leadership nice and early. The Frostheart Phoenix, by the way, back here still looking for an opportunity to dive in, perhaps maybe looking for an isolated unit that it could pick off, tuck into something and just deal a fair bit of damage. Eagle Club Bolter decides to continue firing away at Archon though, and now you can see we have these archers firing away in response to the Eagle Club Bolter, hoping to eliminate that ranged artillery support. This Tomb Scorpion, meanwhile, over here has ventured a little too far forward, took a huge risk, unfortunately, and now the Prince is going to dive in and try and deal with this Tomb Scorpion nice and early. That's a great call. The Tomb Scorpion is extremely threatening. It's armor-piercing, it's anti-infantry, and even though there are a lot of Phoenix Guard and Spears in the High Elf army, the Tomb Scorpion can sort of charge and ping-pong back and forth and literally cleave through formation. So you see the Prince dives in there, and we follow through with the Frostheart Phoenix coming in as well, just getting a little bit of stat damage in with its abilities, and the Tomb Scorpion is not going to have a good time. Morale is dropping significantly. Health is already less by a quarter, and morale again as well dropping extremely quickly. There goes health down to 50%. That Tomb Scorpion is not going to stick around, so a huge mistake over there, sending that Scorpion up front by mistake, obviously, because of its speed, letting it get up there early. We see these Skeleton Warriors pushing to the side here to try and provide some assistance, but that's not going to be enough. We have that disintegration happening, and meanwhile over here in the center and to the left, you can see these Skeleton Warriors are trying to intercept the Spearmen over here, while the Tomb Scorpion over here is going to dive through these Spearmen over here, hoping to cause a fair bit of hurt. And of course, as the Tomb Scorpion, as I was saying earlier, is able to literally cleave through formations, that Scorpion just kind of cuts a bunch of these Elves up, kills about 3 models there, does a touch of damage, and pushes through into the rear of the lines. And you can see the front lines now are in full engagement, while over here we've got the Necropolis Knights with Halberds pushing in alongside Archon here, looking for an opportunity to dive in somewhere. Archon pops the Liber Mortis to try and help physical resistance across the board in the center over here, and pushes in for a charge of his own. Now the Phoenix Guard are in the center here alongside some Spears, so it's a dangerous place to charge into, but Archon does so nonetheless, hoping to get a fair bit of damage in, hoping to use that plus 44% physical resistance to keep himself safe. Now the Prince is actually engaging against the Frostheart Phoenix, so the Guardian trait is being wasted a little bit here, but you can see we also have the Necropolis Knights with Halberds diving into that Frostheart Phoenix, again trying to use their anti-large armor-piercing capabilities against that Phoenix. Same time up front over here, you can see a couple things going on. The Star Dragon's Breath comes in on Archon, Great call there, focusing in on leadership, trying to take care of Archon nice and early, remove magic from the field, remove leadership from the field as well. You can see, though, in response, we have the Tomb Blade of Archon going down, as well as that still active Libra Mortis trying to keep him alive, while to the side over here, the Phoenix Guard have been hit by the Fate of Buna. Great call. The Fate of Buna does not discriminate, and it will do a lot of damage to the Phoenix Guard, who are a very, very threatening unit, so they're going to start dying off very quickly. Nice call there, the Phoenix Guard. Again, they are also physically resistant, but of course, the Fate of Buna is magical damage. At the same time, you can see we have all of these skeleton archers firing away onto this right flank over here. In comes some Earthblood to try and keep these guys alive in response, I think specifically to the Fate of Buna as well, and you can see a lot of damage coming in from range support as well, while the Star Dragon back here, or rather the Prince I should say, is chasing after Archon, and Archon tries to take cover in the trees and pulls back to the side over here into that Phoenix as well to get some damage, and while the Star Dragon again still looking for an opportunity to dive in. The Tomb Scorpion to the left here doing quite a bit of damage to the Spearmen alongside these Skeleton Warriors who are keeping the spears preoccupied, and over here again you can see the Prince dives in, and we have the Necropolis Knights with halberds pushing in for an interception as Archon tries to pull away. Great call over there. Again, these halberds are anti-large and armor-piercing, hoping to get some damage into the Prince. You can see we've got the Necrotech pulling in as well, while Archon again tries to pull away into safety in a very dangerous situation right now. Not fast enough to dodge, but unfortunately the Dragon gets distracted by the central, rather this right flank engagement, and so Archon is able to pull away, but unfortunately Spirit Leech comes in as well, causing a lot of hurt. Take a look at his health at just 25% left. In comes the Realm of Souls, though, healing up some of the other units, so that's a great time there to have that support coming in. You can see the center is about to give up, the left is about to give up as well, but that Tomb Scorpion is doing a lot of work, and you can see now chasing after the Eagle Cloud Bolt Thrower, again exposing itself a little bit, while over here the Prince again using the Star Dragon's Breath on Archon the Black. Great call. Just above 1,000 health left on Archon, so again, focus in and eliminate enemy leadership, especially when it's dangerous like on Chariot and you have a largely infantry army. Right now, though, you can see the Star Dragon decides to turn around and focus in on this Tomb Scorpion instead, while in the center here, again, a little bit of support coming in with magic, using the Fate of Buna on this other unit of Phoenix Guard. Great call over there. Again, eliminate that very threatening unit easily with magic, as it is physically resistant. You can see Archon back here, still sort of trying to take some cover into the trees, while we have this unit of Spearmen again, diving in to get some extra damage into these Spearmen over here. The Star Dragon now, you can see, has given up on the fight, fighting against the Tomb Scorpion, but eating a lot of range support from the Blessed Legion of Demonetization, as well as all of these Skeleton Archers doing a lot of damage, and Restore comes in on the Tomb Scorpion as well, making sure it stays at full health. Great use of the ability there from the Necrotech on the right flank over here, trying to stay alive, popping the Libra Mortis, helping Archon stay alive, helping all of these units stay alive, in fact, using their physical resistance, while off in the distance you can see we do have Earthblood going down on the Prince, trying to make sure that leadership stays alive as well. Now that range support comes back into that right flank, while the Tomb Scorpion coming in with a nice rear charge as well, hoping to get some damage done. Again, it is anti-infantry and armor piercing, so it can do a lot of work, though it does have to be wary of the Phoenix Guard over there. They will do a lot of damage in response as well. The Frostheart Phoenix, though, as you can see, falling apart now, and all that range support quickly decides to focus instead on the Prince once more as it returns to the fight, as it rallies and decides to get involved once more. You can see over here we have the Frostheart Phoenix hilariously giving chase to Archon the Black. I just love watching that Frostheart Phoenix run around like a little pigeon, but more importantly, on the topic of things that fly, the Prince over here atop the Star Dragon is a massive target, and take a look at all of those arrows coming in, just devastating the Prince, devastating that Star Dragon, but trying to pop its breath one last time, opening fire in the central clump over here, not doing too much, not super effective there, and ultimately the Prince is going to give up once more, and rather than just give up, the Prince is in fact going to fall and take High Elf morale with him. It'll drop across the board. Fortunately, though, for the High Elves, a lot of their units still have very high leadership left, and over here you can see the Phoenix Guard were able to push in through the center, chasing after the Skeleton Spearmen, and they're actually able to dive into some of these archers now and take care of that range support. That would be a great move. The Frostheart Phoenix as well, now still persisting in its chase against Archon. Not a terrible call. Archon only has, well, just less than 460 hit points, so he can be taken care of quite quickly right now, but begs the question, if the Frostheart Phoenix and the Star Dragon had sort of dealt with the Skeleton Archers earlier, how would the battle be moving forward right now? Those archers have done a lot of damage, especially in taking out the Prince. You can see over here now, we have the Tomb Scorpion as well, diving into various units, just trying to get some support in, and in comes another Realm of Souls, allowing that extra unit of a shopkeep to be brought in as well. And you can see Archon manages to get away from the Frostheart Phoenix as the Phoenix decides to dive into the central clump once more and maybe provide some support over here, again with its abilities, as the Frostheart Phoenix is able to reduce melee capabilities and armor-piercing capabilities. At the same time, we just got a cast of the Libra Mortis in the central clump over here, again, I think trying to keep Archon Archon alive as he dives through these spearmen. A very risky maneuver there. You can see these spearmen get involved right away as well, trying to hold Archon in place and eliminate him. He's very low on health, just 120 hit points left. A dangerous situation to be in for sure. And take a look at this. The Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower actually moved forward into a very central position and is trying to pop shots off at Archon still, using its anti-large capability to try and eliminate enemy leadership. And at the same time, you can see we've got the Ushabti summoning coming in, trying to provide some more assistance over here. On the Ushabti will take damage as time goes on, but fortunately they're able to at least cause a little bit of trouble to these various units, including the Frostheart Phoenix. That is probably the most threatening unit here from the High Elf still. And you can see to the side over here, Archon the Black, in fact, falls thanks to these spearmen who managed to sneak behind and continue a persistent chase. So great job there by the High Elves, focusing in, responding leadership loss with leadership loss for the Tomb Kings. And you can see the Tomb Kings are dropping their morale significantly, especially in these central clumps where they are engaged. To the left here, you can see we're going to get a little bit of critical binding going on. These guys might start crumbling, and that would spell doom for that left flank. In the center over here, though, you can see the Phoenix Guard are very quickly falling apart. The Ushabti are taking a lot of damage, but they're dealing a fair bit of damage as well. They've killed already about 11 individuals. You can see the Frostheart Phoenix as well, below 50% health right now. The Tomb Prince is getting a fair bit of damage done, and now in comes some range support as well. Unfortunately, some of these Skeleton Archers and the Blessed Legion of Demonetization are out of ammunition, but they are able to push in and be used as morale support. So great call over there. Take a look at this. This rear charge comes in, and it's going to drop Spearman morale over here, and the same thing over here. The Blessed Legion of Demonetization is able to get a nice rear charge, and we don't see this often enough. Archers without ammo are able to cause damage to morale significantly. Just take a look at that. Take a look at these routes as they spread across the field, and the High Elves decide they'd rather not fight. And just like that, the battle turns in favor for a Pyrrhic victory to the Tomb Kings. Now, it's nice to see a large Tomb King army that doesn't rely entirely on constructs come out on top, especially when large parts of the army consist of low-tier troops like Skeleton Warriors. Excellent use of range support and abilities meant the Tomb Kings not only survived, but thrived, and the High Elves made a huge mistake, I think, underestimating the power of Skeleton Archers. As always, make sure you subscribe to this channel for more Total War content and keep sending in those battle replays. I do think it's one of the best ways to learn, and it's always nice to highlight such great battles from the community. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you on the battlefield.